Hi, welcome to Business Influencers. I'm your host, Chris Salem. Hope everyone is having a great week. You found us here at the TALRadio.org platform and hope you are enjoying many of the great content creators here on the TALRadio platform, covering a wide array of different topics that can align to your interest. We've been on TALRadio now for over 4 years, and we want to thank you, loyal listeners, for being with us since day one. And again, we welcome all new listeners to us. And we highly encourage you to not only follow us here at TALRadio.org, but also you can listen to us on YouTube, as well as Spotify, Apple as well. Feel free to follow us there. Again, we have this show each and every week, 30 minutes, where we bring a subject matter expert to share their words of wisdom and insights to help elevate you and your level of influence to the next level. If you'd like to see future content that we have not covered on this show, feel free to reach out to our team here at chris@christophersalem.com. Well, we got our show is always being sponsored by our great sponsor, Alumni Direct. Alumni Direct is a social media community platform dedicated to bringing alumni together from all different generational types and an opportunity to meet new people for the first time. It takes out all the noise out of social media. You get to generate genuine and authentic relationships with the people you choose to interact with. If you'd like some more information about Alumni Direct, check them out at alumnidirect.com. That's alumnidirect.com. Well, I am so excited today. We're going to be talking about retirement isn't the end. Yes, it's your Odyssey. So what that means, you're going to find out here. Well, we got the right person that's going to help us here today. We're here going to be with our guest, George Jergian. He is a retirement mindset mentor, creator of the DARE method, and author of 12 books. After receiving a life-threatening diagnosis at 52 and experiencing an unexpected period of uncertainty following semi-retirement, he embarked on a journey that led him to redefine purpose and create a framework for helping others navigate life's transitions. His perspective on identity, meaning, and reinvention extends far beyond retirement and offers valuable lessons for anyone entering a new chapter in their life. And without further ado, we welcome George Jergian to the show. George, how you doing today?
Great. Thanks for inviting me for your into your show.
Yes, thank you for being here. Well, we always like to start off, George, a little bit about, from your personal perspective, your journey, what you're going to share with us here today about, how retirement isn't the end. And, it is your Odyssey. Share with what your experience was and what's led you today helping so many other people really understand their retirement, that it doesn't have to end, that could be the beginning of a whole new life.
Right. Let me kick off with, we have from the get-go, when we leave home, we go to study and go into the workforce. We know what's happening next. There's a playbook, there's a plan, and we step into that plan and we leave behind who we were. We become parents. There's manuals out there. There's our parents who can help us. We know what's coming. But when it comes to retirement, there is no playbook. You're on your own now. Good luck, Charlie. Off you go. This is a terrifying prospect for most people. And the reason is that most of us don't realize the biggest challenge in retirement is identity. Who am I now? Because all these years that we've built up a portfolio of skills, enhanced our talents, we've chiseled a sort of an identity that we can show the world who we are. We feel validated. The minute we step into retirement, the scaffolding goes. Identity goes, boom. Because your job was part of your identity.
Yeah.
And so I was very fortunate and unfortunate. I was diagnosed with a bone tumor at the age of 52 and given 6 months to live.
Wow.
Bam. Changes everything in your life, the way you think, the way you look at life. And luckily, it wasn't a misdiagnosis, because they told me in 98% of cases, bone tumors are secondary cancer, which means it's spread through your body. Nothing we can do for you. But the reality was, I belonged to the 2% club. I was a lucky son of a bitch. But my point is that, instead of being angry, I realized that I was actually being given a second chance. So I've been living on bonus time since 2007. But I had no playbook. I didn't know what to do. I knew I couldn't live the way I did before. Once you know something like this, you can't unknow it, right? Once you have a rendezvous with death, you wake up. All right, everybody's is doing a dress rehearsal out there, not realizing this is the real thing. You only get one shot at this. And so I meandered, recognizing that time was more important than money. But of course, money is important, but just time is more important when things pivot for you. And I did things that I thought was like the normal thing to do, which is play a lot of golf, have long lunches, go on, take vacations, holidays, go out, do stuff. But after about 18 months, that gets pretty dreary and boring. And you get restless and your energy's sapped, because everything that you thought in life would validate you is now the opposite. And so I did a lot of reading, a lot of studying. And the guy who captured the essence of what happens at this time of life is Carl Jung, the father of psychology, who said, what was true in the morning of life becomes a lie in the evening. What was true in the morning of life becomes a lie in the evening. What did he mean by that? My interpretation is that the morning of life, we are chasing ambition, achievement, accolades. When we get post-retirement, after a certain age, the effort you have to put in is so enormous compared to the joy you're going to get from putting that effort in, that you think this is sort of the law of diminishing returns, right?
Yes.
And essentially what is happening is we're not recognizing the landscape around us has changed, and we're still using an old map. Part of it is because we're lazy, part of it is because we're scared. Stepping into a new identity, into a new purpose. I mean, do you know how long it took me to get here? Are you kidding me? You want me to start all over again? Right? That's that inner dialogue. But the reality is, life doesn't stop. And in a sense, and it took me a long while to understand this, and this is kind of what I teach, is that we are being given an opportunity to create a new life, a new identity. And what do I mean by new identity? Who we were has been predicated on what we've been taught and what we've experienced and what we've done. But there is a part of us that perhaps in childhood or adolescence, we wanted to go down a different road, but life forced us to go down this road. Maybe it's time to explore other aspects of our identity that have remained dormant. Another way to look at it is, some of us have looked to our higher selves, that we think we can't live that way in this life. But that is also untrue. We can. And what we don't want to do, right? You may not find your next thing, but the whole process is about searching. That's why my last book was called, and which published last year, just called The Odyssey of an Elder. I went on around the world trip. It was my dream, an epic dream that I wanted to do when I was a young man, but I couldn't because life got in the way. So at the age of 69 in 2024, I embarked on a trip, an epic trip around the world in 80 days.
Wow.
Choosing 5 countries I'd never visited before, doing things that I thought I may never get a chance to do again. For example, going on a luxury safari in South Africa and spending 5 days, about 6 hours a day in nature with animals and just freaking out. I was just blown away. And talk about understanding mindset, right? The trackers and the guides navigating through the savannah. I'm like, they can see things I can't see because their synapses and neurons are being integrated in a very different way. So it changes your perspective about how you see the world and how you see other people. In New Zealand, I went swimming with dolphins. In Japan, I met a samurai who traced his lineage 600 years, showing me the amazing swords that they had and the ethos that they live under, and they still do. And so it was exploring this, exploring nature, the amazing Canadian Rocky Mountains. There was just so much, but I look back, I literally just been to see the Odyssey, Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, the film. And man, the physical adventures is one thing, but there is a psychological adventure going on here that we are completely, for most of us, it sort of goes right over our heads, right? For example, I'm just going to throw something in here because this is the kind of stuff that I get people to think about. The sirens. Odysseus gets his crew to tie him up so he can't hear so he can hear what the sirens are saying, but he can't act on it. Whereas the rest of the crew had to have wax in their ears so they don't get pulled in, because the sirens seduce you to come out and then you die. And this guy was saying about how we live in an age of sirens. Everything is pulling us away from ourselves. And the big item, of course, is glamour, which comes from an old Scottish word meaning a magic spell of enchantment. And when your soul is enchanted, right, whether it's Hollywood movies and romance, or whether it's pornography, you're losing a part of your soul, right? And it's about saying no to all those things so you can say yes to what's the really important things in life. Because you only have one life, and on your deathbed, you're going to be thinking, oh shit, I didn't do what I meant to do because I listened to other people.
Those regrets and so important. I love that what you shared. What would you say, like, this audience, we have a mix of people here, like, some very successful people who, are here because they're looking to create more impact, more influence in their industries or, missions, whatever their visions are. But perhaps, retirement's getting closer than they think. And doesn't mean they're going to retire, but yet, they're still probably unclear. What would be that first step or what you would advise them to do, as they you're not sure if do I retire at the age of 65 or 60? Do I retire early? Do I retire later? Or I retire, but I'm not really retiring. I'm just doing something else that I've always wanted to do, what you had shared. What would be that first step that you would recommend they look at?
First thought that comes to my mind is that we are all different, and yet we're all very similar. We're all different because we're all playing with different toys. But at the end of the day, all we're doing is playing with toys.
No.
Chasing, whether it's influencing or marketing or selling, which kind of we all have to do. That's not the issue. And it's not about demeaning that, because there's a place for that. It's about recognizing that there's a part of us that we're not nurturing. The authentic self behind the mask that we place when we're dealing with the world at large, right? And we're all wounded. We've all wounded people, and we're all wounded. And that actually is the story of Odysseus. Okay? He's a loving husband, and he's also a cheating philanderer.
Yeah.
Right? He's a strategic military guy, and he's also a mass murderer. He's everything. He's a complicated guy.
Yeah.
Like all of us. But the point is that his journey to Ithaca after Troy takes him 10 years. All right? This is a smart guy. He can find his way back to Ithaca. The question is, what the f*** is he doing going around the Mediterranean for 10 years? and shacking up with Calypso on an island, a semi-goddess, who's played by Charlize Theron. Challenging. 7 years he's out on this magical island. He's going because he can't go home. He's a soldier who suffered PTSD, right? They killed, raped, pillaged in Troy. Nothing was left alive. How can he go home to his hometown and sleep in the same bed with his wife and his kid in the house? The guy's damaged. He's wounded.
Yeah.
So he has to travel. He gets beaten up, one challenge after another, until he comes home to himself first, before he can come home to his wife, to his kid, and to his island. And that's our story.
Wow, I love it. I hope listeners that you're hearing this, letting this sink in, some powerful insights that you've shared, George. And I always said, my wife asked me, because I'm 59, and she's like, "Are you going to retire at 65?" And technically I could, but I'm one of those people, I get bored quickly. I'm not going to be on the golf course every day. It's just not me. I'll play, where applicable, of course, but it's just not my thing. And with that being said, I like doing something. So, but it doesn't always have to be what I was doing for income. It can be other things where I can still make money, but yet do what I really love to do, and not have those regrets because, like I said, well, I don't have the time, I got to do this, and then you put it off for another day, and that day never comes. Is there anything you could share with somebody to kind of light a spark under them so they don't make that same mistake?
That's a really good question. I think the answer is, don't wait for the death card to be served.
Yeah.
All right? And that can come to us on any day. No guarantees to any of us. Today could be our last day. Just think about that. None of us are guaranteed another day, but we live our lives with this weird illusion that we're immortal. Seriously, we don't have the idea of having death top of mind is considered morbid. But 1500 years ago, when the Benedictine monks were teaching the monks, the first thing they taught them was keep death top of mind. Now, it's not about morbidity. It's about living a fuller life. Because if you know you might not make it to the end of today, you're going to have a damn good day today.
Oh, yeah.
And what other people think is none of our business. You are going to exploit to the maximum what this day is offering you. And so I would say to people that this is not a dress rehearsal, but we live as though it is. And we think there's tomorrow. There might not be tomorrow. Are you doing what you were meant to do? And what I help people with my DARE method is, DARE is another word for courage. Because it takes courage to come out of where we are to where we should be. I mean, it takes balls, and it really does. Now, DARE is not just a word for courage to do what you have to do, but it's also an acronym for discover, assimilate, rewire, expand. Right, the notion, of discover what retirement is and what it's not. Most of us are walking illusions about the retirement that we're looking at. It's just something that advertising has drip-fed poison in our heads, and we imagine, pina coladas, martinis, beach, golf. That's a vacation. Retirement is a whole different planet. So secondly, if you're not mentally and socially engaged, dementia, Alzheimer's are there to welcome you. Right? So you have to have something bigger than us that you're serving. So discover what retirement is and what it's not. A is for assimilate new information about our minds. Now, we think we're thinking, but we're not. Henry Ford said, thinking is the hardest thing to do. That's why so few people engage in it, right? Thinking is not about planning, strategy, and plotting. It's about understanding that our subconscious mind, our unconscious mind, has needs that are not being met, has desires that have not been explored, right? And you don't want to end up on your deathbed thinking, oh shit, I didn't do what I wanted. I listened to everybody around me. I listened to my parents growing up. I listened to my spouse during my lifetime. Then my kids got involved telling me what to do. It never ends. There's always somebody who's going to tell you what to do. When will we take action and seize our sovereignty?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm promoting the Odyssey. I'm not getting any commissions or anything, but it's a wake-up call. Watch the movie, not just for the adventures, but reflect on the undertones, the psychological undertones. Where are the challenges that we are being hit by? So quickly moving on, R is for rewire, and it's rewiring our inner dialogue. Our inner dialogue has been created by other people, not by us. But we've made it ours, and so it becomes ours, right? It's about rewiring a new dialogue. Back in the day, you could record over a tape. It's the same concept. You need to replay a new story, a new belief that changes your outcome. And E is for expand. Now, most people, when they reach 65, it's about getting smaller. The sandbox is getting smaller and smaller, cutting costs, cutting this because the income tap has come up. Hey, who said the income is stopping here? The best is yet to come, but it's only going to happen if you actually believe it.
Yes.
Even Cicero, 2,000 years ago, they had no advertising. He said, old age is the crown of life. The best is yet to come. But we've forgotten that.
Wow, powerful stuff. I love this. This is great stuff, and I hope everyone's getting value what George is sharing. And you're gonna, all of George's contact information, by the way, everybody, will be in the show notes. But George, you're gonna have an opportunity to share it here, regardless, and how they can get in contact with you. Now, as we get near the end of the show, George, before we have you introduce, let the audience know how to contact you, what you're up to, and anything you'd like to give them. What would you say, just to sum up everything you shared here today? And I know there's so much more you can talk on this topic of kind of tying things together that the audience can say, you know what, I can create my Odyssey. It doesn't have to, be the end here. It's like you said, it's just the beginning of everything. I just gotta not believe what I've been told and really, align with people like yourself that can give me some clarity. What would be that, to kind of sum everything up, that you can tie everything together here today for us?
I like to use quotes because they capture, a book in one quote. I love using American poet laureate Mary Oliver, who said, "What will you do with your one wild and precious life? What will you do with your one wild and precious life?" And I leave you with that because one of the things that I've recognized is that because we've always had other people's playbook to follow, it is really hard to get deep inside, to go on this inner journey, what I call an inventure, to get the muck out and to get to the authentic you that wants to live life the way you would love to live life, but you've been too scared to touch that. And I like to help them on my 8-week course, where it's done over 8 weeks, but it's like a 90-minute session once a week. And I talk for about 30 minutes, and then it's 1 hour of doing an exercise online, live with me. And by the 8th week, you end up with a 1-page document, which is your work in progress document, which saves you years of meandering in the darkness, not knowing what the hell's going on. With this one document, it gives you the platform to start searching in the right places that will get you to your destination a lot quicker. That said, the paradox is, it's not even about the destination. It's the journey, the Odyssey. That's what you need to begin.
Wow. Powerful stuff. Love it. George, this has been wonderful. Thank you so much. Not only from me, but also our team here at TALRadio, and also people from the Touch of Life Foundation. Now all this falls under the Touch of Life Foundation, a philanthropic organization. We reach so many people, corporations and businesses worldwide with this show. I want to thank you for being here with us. And again, even though we're going to have your contact information in your show notes, is there any specific areas that you would like people to reach out to you and connect?
Ideally, on my website, it's georgejergian.com, just spelt just the way it is at the bottom of this screen here. And all my social media are George Jergian on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. So that's it. So reach out to me. I have a free 1-hour course that you can do. It's available on my website. So get going. Roll your sleeves up and get in there.
Thank you so much, George. And again, we highly encourage everybody to reach out to him, connect. We'll make sure, again, all that information that George shared will be in the show notes. So again, make that connection and make sure you get a copy of the book too, The Odyssey of an Elder as well. I'm sure on Amazon, Barnes & Noble.
It is. It's on Amazon. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Chris, thank you so much. It's been a delight talking to you.
Oh, it's been the same here, George. Thank you so much. And listeners, we want to thank you each and every week joining us here at Business Influencers. Again, we are committed to bringing in subject matter experts like George in each and every week to share their words of wisdom to help elevate you and your level of influence to the next level. It's through the power of influence we can now impact more people to step up and own for themselves, to be accountable, to do the things that are going to move them forward. And that always starts with you. Till then, everybody, have a great rest of your week. We'll be back same time next week, and we'll have another content piece that will sure help raise your level of influence to the next level. Till then, everybody, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next week. Take care.